It's never changed. It's never changed. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. It's just never good. It wasn't funny the first time.
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
What's next for Jaylen Brown and the Celtics?
Yeah, I think there's a good chance Jaylen Brown is going to be traded somewhere, and I don't know if that's going to happen today or this week. But when the Celtics went down this path, they knew that they had made a decision to break up Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown.
Hardy, you might be right. This might be the story that sticks and has some legs for longer than if they just got Giannis, even though I am very disappointed they didn't get Giannis. We're Toucher and Hardy. Watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub. If you're just hearing us, you want to hear 3 hours of nonstop Giannis talk, download the podcast. Jeff Goodman knew all these guys when they played AAU. He knows, has followed basketball at every level more than anyone we have on. He's co-founder of Field of 68. He analyzes the game of basketball for Stadium. Jeff Goodman, hello, sir.
Well, we can, I don't know if we can breathe easy, but, you know, at least the Giannis chapter is over. And I don't know. I'm torn on it, right? I don't know about you guys, but I'm torn on it. Just the fact that I think Giannis would have made him better. How much better? I don't know. I don't want to say I'm like done with the Jaylen Jason chapter, but I'm frustrated that, again, they just haven't made more progress. Even though we can use Jason's injury as an excuse, it looked like, again, they regressed playing together when Tatum came back last year.
So is the chapter over, or can the Celtics have the Celtics forced themselves into trading Jaylen Brown now, no matter what, or can these two try it again next season?
No, I think they could try it again. Brad's not going to get like desperate where he feels like he has to do something. That is not Brad Stevens. You said, you know, I've known these kids since they were 15. I've known Brad since he was an assistant at Butler. He's not going to panic and say, like, I have to do it. He's a businessman, too. He's smart. He's going to make sure he gets full value for Jaylen Brown, or else he's not going to trade him now. Now, he may trade him midway through the year. Yeah. But he's not going to do something today just because he feels like, oh, boy, it's out there that Jaylen Brown, you know, that we've tried to trade him and we can't bring him back because he's going to be a malcontent. He's going to make sure he gets – and, again, the beauty with Jaylen Brown right now is, like, if you trade him, you are going to get peak value in a sense that, like, he just had the best season of his career. He just established himself as a guy that could be a potential – like a number one guy to some franchises. A lot of them talking to him
Not
still
to
don't feel like.
Okay, yeah, so let's get into that. Like, okay, so it's reported that the Celtics were offering Brown and 2 first-round picks and that Milwaukee was, like, more young players, which is kind of the offer that Miami gave, but Tyler Hero instead of Brown. Why did Milwaukee not value Brown that much? Conceivably, or am I wrong? And they did, and Miami just blew him out of the water.
Yeah, I just think it was two different directions that you're going, right? You're getting so many assets from Miami. Not great. I mean, obviously, Tyler Hero isn't Jaylen Brown. Tyler Hero is from Milwaukee. So Jimmy Haslam, the owner, does feel pretty good about the fact that Tyler Hero is not going to leave after a year. He's not going to demand to be traded after a year or two. But you've got all these other picks. Like, Khalil Ware is a good player. I watch him play Oregon, Indiana. Like, good player, but not a centerpiece. Now, again, probably rather have him in the middle right now than Keita if I was Boston. But he's not a guy you're trading around. But with the picks as well, you're feeling like at this point, all right, we've got a good young core. We can build around them. And with these picks, if we can hit it on one of these picks, maybe we can be back in business fairly soon. It's not a complete rebuild. With Jaylen, I mean, let's face it, if they do the trade for Jaylen Brown, Milwaukee's kind of in the same position they're in right now, right? Like,
couldn't you flip Brown, though? Like, just Brown as an asset, even if you don't intend to keep him, in totality would be worth as much as the Miami package, just in a different way. Like, if I know, Jeff, this is a lot of ifs, but you have to understand this is what we've been doing all morning.
And yesterday.
Right. Like, late yesterday. So if Milwaukee gets Brown and they go into the draft tonight and they dangle Brown, is there a possibility that Milwaukee gets like a top 10 pick for Brown and some other stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, I do think that's the case. And I'm sure they explored that. Right. I'm sure they talked to every team about that because obviously what Milwaukee would want is not what Boston would want for Jaylen Brown, right? Boston is competing now. Milwaukee, if they tried to flip Jaylen Brown, they're looking for not to get in the top 10. You're probably looking at can you trade Jaylen Brown and get in the top 4? Because that's the disparity is tonight. It's after probably 3, to be honest. Because Caleb Wilson's going to go 4 to Chicago, and I don't think he's a number 1 guy. People try to compare him to Kevin Garnett. He's not KG. He can't shoot. There's 3 guys in this draft that I think most people feel like have a chance to be franchise player.
Okay. How many times has DeBonce's dad texted you today? He texted me once.
None today. I'm safe.
Upset.
He added a lot of other people to his Rolodex, I'm sure, over the last few weeks with the draft, and that's probably cut and paste and sending the same message to 100+ people.
Oh, I find that hard
Ace.
to believe. I find that very hard to believe.
We all love Ace because, listen, Ace has done a great job with AJ. He's put him out there, so now AJ's become a marketing dream where Darren Peterson is a marketing nightmare right now. Doesn't really want to do anything. It was a PR disaster last year at Kansas where, man, AJ goes on. He has that smile. Like, he will sell
Not
tickets.
with us.
Yeah, well, I don't think I saw it. He didn't smile at all when he was here.
We've had him in like 3 times. He never smiled. We're local radio, and he doesn't care.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, but generally, he still turns it on. Generally, he knows his dad has told him, hey, turn it on, and then, when you're done with the interview, then you can go back to looking on your phone.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Maybe he was fine on the air. He just was aloof off air. And I'm getting him mixed up. His dad's very nice and certainly very active. And I just know from my own experiences, college coaches don't generally want to talk to the dad that much. But I guess when you're AJ DeBonza, they make an exception and they talk to the dad. I can tell you when you're not AJ DeBonza, they do not want to talk to the dad. But
they want to talk to the mom, or they don't want to talk to the parents at all?
No parents.
You know what he was
They want a direct line
guys?
to the kid. Yes.
Real quick on Ace. The difference with Ace and the other high-maintenance fathers, there are a lot of other high-maintenance fathers in this draft, actually, and they all thought they knew basketball. They all were trying to tell the coaches how to coach their kid. Ace didn't care about that.
Yeah.
Ace didn't. He wanted to make this, and he wanted to get attention. He wanted to make money, and he wanted attention.
I was more just making the point of how good AJ DeBonza is because coaches are willing.
Yeah.
Ace is a good guy, and I don't think doing anything wrong, but he's extraordinarily active. He texts Nick Gemelli, our assistant producer. I mean, he texts a lot of people. I was under no illusion that he was texting me personally. I understand that these are going out to maybe 1,000 people, but it just speaks of how good AJ is that like, because, if you're even probably like a starting caliber player, but not a star, I don't know how much coaches are going to want to deal with the father, but that's another thing. Go ahead.
No, I would just say since we're on the topic here of the draft tonight, there's been so many smoke signals one way or another. Washington Wizards apparently are not going to trade their first pick, which means they've decided on a guy. We've heard all 3 guys kind of thrown at that number 1 area. Who gets picked first tonight? Who goes second? Who goes third?
Yeah, I mean, from everything I've heard, and nothing's certain, but I've heard it's been AJ the whole way for the most part. And again, could there be a shock here? Yeah, I mean, if Washington's doing their job, which they have, they're leaking different names every week. And I said this a month ago. Like that's what you need to be doing, right? Because you want to have Danny and Austin Ainge confused here. You want to have them, if they've got a guy, if they really want AJ, well, they know they got to flip and move up. Or if somebody else loves AJ and thinks, or Darren Peterson, and they think they're going to take Peterson, they're going to make him an offer. I think they're going to stand pat here and draft number 1. I don't think the package is going to be worth what Washington thinks that one of these guys can become. And if you're Washington, again, you're not getting big-time free agents. Right now, you roll the dice with Trae Young and AD, and I don't know how that's going to work, but AJ fits. AJ fits the need if you're going to keep Trae, which you are now, and Anthony Davis. AJ fits.
Okay. You mentioned how much of a nightmare Peterson has been. Every report we got was that Peterson worked out for Washington and refused to work out for anybody else. So if you're Danny Ainge sitting there, if you're Memphis at 3, what do you do here?
Yeah, and just to be clear, Peterson isn't the nightmare. It's his camp that is the nightmare.
Okay.
Darren's a good kid.
Okay.
He's a good kid. He's doing what he was told last year. Tap out the moment you feel anything, this, that, work out here, work out there. These kids aren't making that decision, let's face it. But there are a lot of questions with Peterson that I never had 2 years ago when I said he's the number one player, even above A.J. DeBonsa. That's where the Angels had to do their due diligence and try to figure out, get to the bottom of this thing. Because the kid was super competitive when I saw him in the AU circuit a couple years ago. He showed things that he didn't display this past year. Playmaking for others, more burst vertically. He just, again, he looked like a shell of himself this past year. And having said that, he still had a hell of a year when he was on the court. He could score just like effortlessly. I think they take him. I don't think Danny and Austin pass on a guy like this in Utah. I don't think you can. Cam Boozer's a terrific player, but his ceiling is probably, to me, top 10-ish player in the NBA. Like
Kevin Love has been used as a kind of a comp to him. Do you think that's fair?
I think his dad is a good comp for him, to be honest. I think his dad is a pretty good comp for him, too.
Okay.
He's not the passer Kevin Love was. He's not even the perimeter shooter that Kevin Love was. And I remember seeing Kevin when Kevin was young. Boozer just wins, man. He just wins. He does whatever it takes. He's gotten better. Kevin Love was kind of ready-made at 15 years old. Cam Boozer couldn't shoot beyond 12, 15 feet a couple years ago, and now he's extended that range to 3. It takes a while for him to get it off, but he gets better. He's so solid. You know what you're going to get. He's perfect for Memphis. High character. That's what Memphis needs. That's what they're starting to go with. So I think he ends up in Memphis.
Jeff, I want to go back to the Jaylen Brown thing. I asked you a few minutes ago if they can bring Tatum and Brown back after all this, and you said, of course, and that Stevens isn't going to make some knee-jerk trade just to get him out of here because it's too uncomfortable. From the team side, I agree with you. From Jaylen Brown's side, how pissed off do you think he is over? And again, it's been brought up a couple of times. Well, they tried to trade him once before and they worked it out. This is different this time. This is post-championship. This is post-finals MVP. This is right after the season where he helmed the team for the majority of the season to a really nice regular season record. How angry is Jaylen Brown at this point, and do you think he wants to return to the Celtics this upcoming season?
Yeah, I think at first it might, again, bother him. But I think with everything, right, a little bit of time, what's he going to do? Go out there and tank? Not play as hard? I just don't see that. And
demand a trade?
Winning solves everything, right? Winning solves everything. If they're playing well, he's playing well, they win, everything will be fine. And, yes, Brad still could make a trade at the break at that point. It's not like he's here forever. But I think at this point, he knows, hey, yeah, I deserve to be a number one. I played like it. Obviously, he made some comments, streaming last year that he probably would like to get back. But I think, again, Brad also, like, he has a way with people that I think he'll figure out a way. He's non-confrontational. I think he'd find a way to have a conversation with Jaylen that, hey, listen, man, yeah, it was Giannis. Like, that's the other part. If you're Jaylen Brown, honestly, in a way, you should feel flattered.
But they didn't do it.
Trade conversation with Giannis.
But that's for Jaylen to be pissed at Milwaukee, not at the Celtics.
No, I know, but it's like an ego death. Like, they wanted to trade you. Fine, it's for Giannis, but Milwaukee didn't want it. Like, from like even if that's unreasonable, you would figure that you have to have a bit of an ego if you want to be great.
Yeah, but it doesn't affect that aspect of it. Doesn't affect his relationship with Stevens and the Celtics.
Right. I just think it just makes everything.
He's also
bad.
been through this, guys. It's not like his name hasn't been out there in the past.
Yeah.
It was just a little bit more front and center this time, right? I get it. It was out there, and Brad never poo-pooed this one. That was the difference in this one, right? In the past, Brad has come out and said we don't want to trade Jaylen Brown. This time, and again, he may be gone tomorrow. Like, he may be gone.
He might be
tonight.
gone today, according to
Windhorst.
Windhorst.
He could be gone, draft night here. I just don't know what package. Like, I don't want the Celtics to thin out their roster. I don't want them to get, like, two guys that are pretty good for Jaylen, and now you look at it and it's like, all right, you got Tatum and a bunch of okay players. I don't want that. I want – you got to get another frontline dude. If you're trading Jaylen Brown, you better get another top 15-ish, 20 player, which I thought Jaylen was for the most part in his career. He had 1 year that, to me, and we'll see if he can follow it up. He had a great regular season, and he's gotten better. But I still don't consider him a top 5, 6, maybe even 10 player in the NBA.
I apologize if you already addressed this, Jeff, but would you have included Shireman and Gonzalez to get this deal done with Giannis?
I would have. Yeah. I think they're pieces. I think you can get guys like that in free agency. Now, I like both of their upsides, but I just think that's not. If you really want Giannis and you feel like he is the difference maker, you're not hesitating to include Baylor, Shireman, and Gonzalez.
But then you would have given up much more than what Miami ended up giving up.
Well, different. Like, I don't know about more. Just it's a totally different package, yes. But, like, again, Baylor, Shireman, you might be able to get another Baylor, Shireman with a 27th pick, tonight if you didn't trade it. Or again, from a free agent standpoint, you can get another guy of that caliber. Gonzalez, everybody talks about his upside. I saw Bill Simmons' his tweet, and like, dude, come on. Like, what are we doing?
A lot of people say that.
He's
dude, come on.
In retreat mode
Could you draw the Pelicans logo freehand right now, just from memory?
I could not, but I'd love to have Trey Murphy. That's one player I'd love to get. Now, again, not straight up for Jaylen Brown, but I think he'd be a guy I'd love to add to this team.
All right. Well, Jeff Goodman, an exciting day for you with the draft, and hopefully DeBon's dad sends you something just for good luck. He'll
ask me. The best one was when he asked me to. He sent me a picture of the merch store from AJ a couple years ago, and a year ago, and he asked me if I would buy something from the merch store. And I said, AJ makes a lot more money already than me from going to BYU. Like, can he buy me maybe a shirt and send it to me for free?
Maybe just send me a shirt. Yeah.
That's right.
Well, he sent me a video of highlights of his kid today, and I'm like, I'm aware.
Wait a minute. This kid's pretty good.
Yeah. Like, this is right in line with everything else. Like, he could be the number 1 pick in the draft. This is something I'm aware of.
Yeah, I've seen his highlights.
All right. Jeff Goodman, Field of 68, also can read him on Stadium. Thanks, Jeff, as always, for the help.
Thanks, Jeff.
Take care, guys.
Thanks,
See you, man.
I appreciate it.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, I don't look at the stuff he sends anymore. I mean,
was it a meme thing, or did he actually send you like 4 minutes of highlights?
I can show you like the. Very one-sided. I mean, at one point I did respond.
Yeah.
And I've erased it. The first one I still have is from July 10th. Oh, this is all from July 10th until now. Or no, this is July 10th of last year, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So, yeah. So, not as much as I thought. All right. Anyway, just real quick, Windhorst has said, what I expect to happen is a bidding war for Jaylen Brown. If there is a draft pick involved, it could happen today. That's what Windhorst says.
All right.
So, slow the roll on, anyone saying Brown's not getting traded.
Well, of course there's going to be a draft pick involved.
Like or tonight's, and of course it would be today.
For tonight's, yeah.
It has to be tonight.
Yeah,
they're going to offer a draft pick. It has to be tonight.
If tonight's draft pick is involved, it's going to be today.
Yeah, it would have to be, I would assume.
Yeah.
But it could happen during the draft, because you see oftentimes in the draft, a kid get drafted by a team, and that team is already traded that pick in theory.
Right. Which will be the case at number 13 tonight because that deal they made last night can't be official until July 6th.
My point was only when's the last time there was an NBA trade that went down that didn't include some draft pick thrown in there?
No, I understand. I'm trying to think it through. Like tonight would be interesting because even if the draft goes as planned, if there's a team like in the top 10 like Atlanta, just giving them as an example of a good team who has New Orleans pick, ironically, they're picking at 8 or whatever, and you just see them take someone, and you're like, blah, blah, blah. And then, a half an hour later, they're like, it's for Jaylen Brown and additional stuff. All right. I have an email that I want to address because I truly cannot defend myself because I don't know what I did. But I've annoyed someone who's a fan of the show, but I've annoyed someone.
Do tell.
Did I get this one too? I probably hearted it.
Yeah.
Put it in my save folder.
They're firmly on your side. But I just don't know what I did. You'll have to explain to me.
Okay.
I want it serious, too.
Gladly.
I want you to explain to me seriously what I did. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
Ticket not punched.
Hardy.
No, the ticket's not punched.
Fred.
You got a bunch of stuff wrong when you talk. So much for this country.
Dutcher and Hardy.
I guess this country's a bunch of buffoons that don't know the rules.
You idiot. The Sports Hub.
All right, let's do this. The email bit is powered by Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens. 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. And that, my friends, is a correct read. Let's put that aside for tomorrow.
Thank you, Jeffrey Glassman.
Well done.
Let's not push
Jeffrey Glassman.
Yes. All right. Here's the email I was referring to.
All right, good.
This is a constant theme of the show today. Joey says, Fred's tendencies. Mm-hmm. I love Fred, but I have no idea how you guys put up with him when he's so defiantly wrong. Mm-hmm. They didn't want Brown. That's obvious. You can't debate that. By that, now here's where I don't understand. Honestly, by that same logic, the Celtics did not want Giannis. Oh, wait, of course they did. That is why they dangled their finals MVP winner who dragged them to the 2 seed last year. The Bucks ultimately decided to take much larger package that diversified with both young players and more picks. Fred is great radio, but his tendency to have a take that he thinks is 100% right when it's not, or at least debatable, and yell at others who think different would drive me absolutely crazy to work with. He'll do it with something as stupid as like, oh, this movie was terrible. You're an idiot if you think otherwise. Oh, that city is a dump. But that is why John Wallach is so chastised and never fights back or stands up for himself, which is obviously why John's wife doesn't like Fred as Fred.
Yeah. I mean, this guy does have it figured out.
See, here's what I would debate is that, yeah, the Celtics wanted Giannis. They made an offer for him. That's inherently different. They made an overture, which Milwaukee decided not to accept. If I ask you on a date, implicitly, I want to go on a date with you. If you refuse, implicitly, you did not want me.
But there's more to it than that. Where are we going?
The mall.
No.
Shopping spree.
No.
Dave and Buster's. I can't tantalize with you with that. Natick Mall. No. You go to the maze.
The collection.
Now ask me if I want to go to Topgolf. Then I say yes. You've sweetened the deal.
So, okay, so this is like a linguistic debate. First of all, his thing with the Celtics wanting Giannis that's just wrong. I mean, am I wrong there? Like, if you ask someone for something, you want that. If they say no, that doesn't mean they wanted the thing inherently that you're asking.
It was your tone.
Fine.
First thing out of the gate this morning, you're like, they didn't want him. I don't know why you idiots can't understand that. It's so obvious they didn't want him. And I say, yes, they did want him. They had conversations about it. They just wanted more than just Jaylen Brown.
So it's a linguistics debate. It is that if you look at the package that the Celtics were offering and the package that the Heat were offering, they accepted a Heat package that pretty much just removes Brown from the equation. Like what they wanted the Celtics to throw in, as we've discussed ad nauseum today, and I'm very pleased to have done it because it gives us something to talk about in June. They wanted the Celtics to sweeten the deal so it was almost like the Miami offer with Jaylen Brown.
Well, I think this has as much to do with what Milwaukee is thinking about doing. And you were making it sound like, and maybe you didn't mean to make it sound like this, like there's something wrong with Jaylen Brown. They didn't want Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown was the problem. I think Milwaukee, by virtue of doing this deal with Miami and not taking the Celtics deal that didn't include Shireman and Gonzalez and more picks, it speaks to more. They're not looking at this season or maybe even the next season. You could offer them up Doncic right now, and they'd be like, that's really not in our plans. We don't have anything to do with a player like that right now, the way we've decided to move forward past Giannis.
And then I would counter that they were interested in getting Evan Mobley, and the Cavs said no. And then I would also say, fine, you can. They'd obviously want Brown if they just were handed him. But the thing is that based on reporting yesterday, the reporting was all, there's nothing Miami can do if Brown's involved, right? That was reporting, correct? That if the Celtics offer Brown and picks, there's nothing Miami can do.
That's correct.
I believe that's verbatim what we were told.
That is correct.
And so they did, and Milwaukee said no, which, I mean, maybe it's in King's English, the inappropriate, but for the needs of our show, Milwaukee didn't want Brown that much. So
it seems like, looking at it, there was an internal debate. Some people did, the owner didn't.
And you're a good guy, Joey. I appreciate that you like the show. If you can't understand why you would go, that movie sucks and anything you say is wrong, I'm doing a radio show. You understand, for the sake of entertainment.
Joey has gotten to a part of your personality, though, that I despise and John despises and everyone else takes great entertainment value in hearing you act this way, but they too would despise you when he gets at what he's talking about here. Think you're 100% right. I'm quoting Joey here, right. And you'll yell at others who think differently.
I don't. It's ludicrous if someone goes, that movie sucks, you can't think otherwise. You do know, I realize that. When it's a piece of art or culture,
sure,
just by nature of that argument, I find entertaining. The audacity of saying this, like the Grateful Dead are the worst thing ever, there's no way you really like them, is a fun thing to say because I know it will needle Grateful Dead fans. And it's so beyond me that you would like that pointless noodling that I truly don't believe that you like it, but I understand the audacity of the statement.
I'll let you know the next time you're doing it in a conversation where it's not just for entertainment purposes.
I like that.
I'll just say, Fred, you're doing it.
Okay,
you're doing it
because
again.
I know you got annoyed with me in the first break, and I get it, but I think you misunderstood what I was saying. And we got we had differing opinions on this. I wanted it to happen, and you didn't necessarily want it to happen. So you're going to have an argument about it. I don't take it personally. He was annoyed with me. He was annoyed because I wanted something to happen that he didn't necessarily want to have happen. And when I said they didn't want Brown, it's a move to move conversation around. And he didn't agree with that tone or that statement. But just because Hardy comes back at me doesn't necessarily mean something happened that was wrong. That's sort of what you want. I'm not looking to actively push him, but if he disagrees with me and gets annoyed with me, and I let him get annoyed with me, that's not the worst thing in the world.
But that was the thing. You didn't. You were like, well, now you're filibustering.
Well, I saw that you were getting annoyed, and I wanted to see if I could poke you a little bit to see if you could get a little more annoyed.
And you did. You got very annoyed, which I find entertaining.
Because with the sports debate, I could give or take it. I just thought that I saw that you were getting agitated, and I understood why. But I think we got through it. The phonetics of the linguistics of it, whatever. The bottom line is, any way you slice it, the Milwaukee did not value Brown as much as the Celtics thought Milwaukee would value Brown. That's safe to say. A sports radio way of putting it is they didn't want Brown. That elicits conversation. So there you go. That's my practice and my thoughts. There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because at the very least, and here's me doing something that you have difficulty doing, coming over and supporting you a little bit in this. If Milwaukee has no interest in being better next season and having a player like Brown, well, then you should be able to move them and get even more stuff that you can build up your coffers with, whether it's picks or secondary players and all that stuff. But maybe they didn't see the value in that either.
We just have a guy that we're trying to move to get picks and stuff. Let's stick with the guy we already have to move to get picks and stuff.
It's just, I was very surprised at the Miami offer. I didn't think it was that great. And, these picks are way into the future. The analysis, I've heard Ramona Shelbourne, she likes to trade. But I've read analysis that I agree with, that this is pushing things so far into the future. And I understand these picks are of value. And they can be
based
used
on when Giannis gets older. Yes.
Right. But, you're telling your fan base, guess what, guys? Like, there's no hope for a long time.
Yeah.
And then they use the James Harden trade and how long it takes teams, like when they get rid of superstars for future assets like this, it takes 5-6 years to get competitive again.
Truly, if I'm the Milwaukee Bucks, you come out and you say, the Damian Lillard trade was so bad. This is the only thing we can do to start to turn this oil tanker around, because we lost so many first-round draft picks for a guy who barely played for us.
But what if you got Brown and he playing for half the season and he's electric and he's scoring 30 points a game and you're like, a couple games under 500 and you go, look at, and then at the trade deadline, some team opens up everything and gives you the world.
And this is where I go back to, at some point, even in Milwaukee, even the owners who say, they're not doing anything for the fan, you have to consider your fan base. And you already got rid of Giannis because you couldn't figure out a way to convince him to stay in Milwaukee. And you bring in a guy who seems to be a suitable replacement, and then you turn around and deal him at the deadline halfway through his first season.
But the thing is that I'm selling to my fan base now, like, by the way, 7 years from now, some of these picks are happening 7 years from now.
Yeah, and how are the fans going to take that?
No, that's what they're doing now. Yeah, I don't know. I just think if you had Brown and you were a savvy fan and they played him and got a lot from him at the deadline, and you combine the two deals together and you said, look, that any kind of real fan base would go, oh.
Correct. How many, what percentage of the fan base would you call savvy fans that can see the 30,000-foot view?
In Beantown, 90%.
Yeah.
Some hick flyover state.
With a bunch of millies.
I don't know, man. We've just gone over this. I'm glad we have. I was very disappointed this morning and I will admit, personally disappointed. I was very excited for the possibility of Giannis playing here. Certainly for a couple of years, that would have been a lot of fun. But the drama does continue as we see what they do with Brown. And now, guess what, Celtics fans? You have every incentive to watch this draft because you don't even know if players are taken. You don't even know if that's a future Celtic. As of, July, whatever, right, John?
Yes. July 6th is when the big Giannis trade becomes official.
I expect rumors to be floating around all day today. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
My buddy. With friends like these,
to climb up a tree. We're the best friends you can be, my buddy and me.
Now, more of your best morning buddies, Toucher and Hardy, on the Sports Hub. We know what you're thinking. What could I possibly have missed from the show? It's time for The Stack on Toucher and Hardy.
All right, we are Toucher and Hardy, and you have just heard a very rare show where there was one topic for the entire show, which was Giannis. So tomorrow's show will not decidedly be all about Giannis.
No, it's all about golf tomorrow.
Well, let's not scare everyone away. There will be some golf as we are live at the Travelers Championship, beautiful TPC River Highlands, Cromwell, Connecticut, for the Pro-Am Day, and hopefully the pre-show before I go out and loop for anybody. Just want to caddy for somebody tomorrow. I want to get on the course as a jock, as a looper, and get out there and show them what I'm capable of, right? I've yet to get my player assignment. I'm a little worried. little frustrated.
Considering the Pro-Ams tomorrow, yeah, that would be bad.
It'd be nice to know who I'm looping for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got to advocate for Hardy tomorrow as we go through the show because there will be luminaries from the Travelers Championship joining us.
I would expect tournament director Nathan Grube to be milling about along with Chief Administrative Officer Andy Bissett, who's the biggest of the big wigs walking around there, who's all for it. But, there are some, people around him, that have to actually set these things up. So we'll see.
It's carrying a bag. I would assume that, are you going to bring golf shoes?
If I cannot parlay 14 years of doing the Sports Hub Golf Club into a non-paying job as a caddy for literally anybody in a Pro-Am, then what am I doing?
Right.
What am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to do.
Sure.
I just want to go out there. What's up?
It just seems like something that they would just allow him to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't, he doesn't even really have to carry a bag. Just let him walk around.
It seems like something I could just show up and start doing and nobody would be the wiser.
Right. Like if you knew the guy, you could just kind of walk next to him.
Yes, I could go out there. Oh, I brought my own caddy. Great. Here we are.
Are you bringing shoes, golf shoes?
No. You don't wear golf shoes when you caddy.
You don't?
No.
Oh, I had no idea.
Are you wearing comfortable pumps?
I'll have a couple of different pair of shoes. I have my list of things I'll need. I'll have my special towel. I'm going to bring my rangefinder.
What's your special towel?
It's a caddy towel. A special caddy towel.
Special rag.
What's that look
You
like?
know what? I'll bring it to the broadcast tomorrow. I'll bring it to the broadcast tomorrow.
It's all stiff.
I'm also going to have my GPS watch so I can give quick, immediate yardage.
Right.
My special sunglasses, little club brush. I'll have all that stuff.
And binoculars.
Well, the binoculars are from when we're sitting there and we can turn around and look at the practice range right behind us.
I don't mind being at the Travelers. It's a nice
they
environment.
treat us really well.
Yeah, it's a nice environment.
Let's get some food down there, man.
Yeah.
There we go. Now we're talking.
One ball out and play, 2 balls in your pocket just in case you need to drop a ball.
Oh, yeah.
By the tree.
Does that work for you?
It's right here. Busted first hole. Unbelievable.
You got busted the first hole dropping a ball.
It was a hell of a shot I had in that second shot, though. Wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. You didn't need to
tee
cheat.
shot was horrendous.
Your cheat shot was worse than your actual shot.
It was.
Yeah.
Worst lie. Yeah.
Is Zolak very far off the tee? Is he like a big power hitter?
No, but you know what he's got? Soft hands. Soft hands around the green.
Yeah. Maybe lift it up.
A little bit of finesse.
Yeah,
That shows your athleticism.
Yeah, right.
Hand-eye, baby. All right. That'll do it for us. Everyone enjoy. Hopefully something exciting happens today. We will be at the Travelers tomorrow. Bye.